ready? You ready? Okay. Hi Flosstube, my name is Jess, my pronouns are she and her, and I'm CrossStitchJess here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. I got it right for once. No fumbling. Welcome to my channel if you're new. This is gonna be like a update on my last few weeks of stitching. I think it's been about 2.5-3 weeks. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on. I've been to some Stitchy days, so I've got some goodies. The sofa on the top of my floss storage next to me is utter chaos because I have not, I've got everything, but it is in no kind of order, so you may have to bear with me a little bit. So I wasn't planning to film today. I was going to do it at the weekend, but like I feel like I've got enough to show that I feel like if I keep holding off it's going to be like a really long one. So bit of an agenda. I am very excited. I told myself when I started this I wouldn't care about the numbers, but like it's hard not to care about the numbers. But I have hit 800 subscribers, so thank you. There's been like a random little boost the last kind of week or two, so that's really exciting, and it's really reassuring that like the thing I set out to do, which is getting better at presenting, that like I'm presenting myself well enough that people want to come back. I am not quite there, but I am very, very close to 1,000 followers on Instagram. So I'm going to do a giveaway, sort of combined giveaway. I'm going to just do it here because it's like less faff than having a different one on each. So I will explain that in a bit. I have a tip for today. I completely forgot that was a thing that I decided to do last time. So yeah, we've got a tip for the day. I've got 7 projects to show you, 2 new starts, 1 start and finish, and a finish, like a separate finish, and then also 3 other whips projects. And then, as I said, I've been to a Stitchy weekend. I had some goodies in the post, so I will show those as we go, because they're relevant to the whips. So first up is going to be the tip, and I did not grab this from the shelf in advance, so excuse me leaning out of frame. Oh, please don't all fall off. Okay, here we go. So this is version 1.0. There will be a version 2.0 because the magnetic thing that I put in the back of this is not as strong as I'd hoped. So my tip of the week, month, video, whatever you want to call it. I've had this idea for a while, and I've had all the component parts for a while, and I finally got around to actually putting it together. So this is my new Needleminder storage. Basically all this is a magnetic board. It's like one of those flimsy, like the kind of, you can get them that they like peel and stick onto your fridge or like your kitchen wall or whatever, with some nice fabric over the top. So this is, I want to say it's like Bumble Dots, something like that, from, brain is going so blank, TurtleBayTextiles. I'm so sorry, so it's been one of those days. So yeah, all I've done is taken the back off the frame, taken out all the like the guff, the mount and stuff, and put in the fabric and the magnetic board. I wouldn't actually recommend the like flexible magnetic boards. I've ordered a replacement one from Amazon that's like one of the metal, like a metal plate, which I think will be a bit better. Like they do stick, but they're not like super secure. And yeah, so this is just so that I can enjoy and display all of my needle minders. There's a couple in the bottom here where the magnets have come off. So the next thing on my list is to buy some of the fancy, whatever it is, E9000, I think it's called, glue, and stick the magnets back on these. Or stick smaller magnets, because this one's, I think, intended as a fridge magnet. It's massive. I want smaller but stronger magnets. So yeah, that's my Needleminder board. Dead easy, cheap frame from IKEA, some nice fabric, which I'm sure we all have lying around. But if not, highly recommend TurtleBayTextiles. And then a magnetic board in the back, and this will go on my Meta cross stitch wall because it's not cross stitch about cross stitch, but it's basically framed artwork. So yeah, this is much nicer than having them. You might have been able to see in my, I think in my last video, the corner of our room, of our living room, was in the background. I did just have them all on the pole of the lamp that I have in the corner, but they were a bit precarious and at risk of getting knocked off. So yeah, tip of the day. I'm gonna trust Alfie not to knock that off the sofa. Right, next up, I have notes because I knew that I would lose track without it. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to show you, we're having a sniffspection. Someone in my last video coined the phrase I can't say it, sniffspection, which is Alfie's job. Sniffspecting every parcel, shopping bag, human that comes into our house gets a sniffspection. He's very good at his job. He has yet to tell me that something should not be in the house, I think. I'll keep you updated on that. Anyway, one of the things that has arrived in the post this month, which I no longer have to show you because I've either eaten or used, well, me and Alfie have eaten and used the contents. So on my last update video, I was saying about how I've got almost a full set of DMC, but those last 30 odd colours seem to come up in every single pattern that I'm trying to work on. The very lovely Kerry reached out and basically said she had gotten a big like de-stash from someone through Facebook or something, and she had doubles and triples of things, and if I let her know which ones I was missing for the Books of Magic project that I talked about in my last Flosstube, if she had doubles or spares of them, she would send them to me. So she very kindly sent me three skeins that I was missing for a couple of projects, but the little package that arrived was so cute. It was addressed to Jess and Alfie, and my husband did joke that he felt a bit left out. But it was so sweet. She'd included a couple of chocolates, the threads, a little card with some lovely words in, and a little package of treats for Alfie, which he was over the moon about. He was so excited that the parcel actually had something for him for a change. So thank you so much, Kerry. That was really, really kind of you. And I'm looking forward to being able to carry on with Books of Magic now that I've got those couple of missing threads. So that was literally only a couple of days, I think, after my last update. In terms of whips, I then went a bit off-piste and did something completely unplanned. I don't actually have this to show you, so I will have to include a photo. Basically, I subscribe to the World of CrossStitch magazine. I subscribed to like a whole year in order to get the free Lowry that they were giving away around this time last year. And in the most recent issue to show up, there was a little kit to make a bee keyring. Based on the scaling in the picture, I expected it to be much smaller than it was. And when I opened it, I was a bit disappointed that it was actually quite big. So me being me, I, excuse the crinkling, got myself over to Amazon, which I normally try and avoid, but I very much wanted these in a bit of a speedy rush, and got myself some teeny tiny hoops. Some little hoops and some hexagons. The hexagons were a little bigger than I intended because what I had envisaged was basically making little needle minders with the teeny tiny bee, and the reason for that is Rosie from Rosie X Stitches and I are hosting Get Your Gecko Out. Rosie gets all the credit for the hashtag, but the way that came about is we're both stitching on the Lorna Lane bee, which is a Gecko Rouge kit. So I thought it would be really cute for us to have matching little bee needle minders. So I made one to make it fit in this frame. I ended up doing it 1/1 on 40 count, which was an experience. I didn't not enjoy it. I did enjoy it. Like the thread I was using was not really appropriate. So I made that one up into a little needle minder, which I'll include a photo of here, and gifted that one to Rosie. And I have started, literally today, started making a second one now that I have some slightly finer yellow thread, slightly less of a battle to get that through the holes. So yeah, that was cute. I enjoyed it. I plan to make a bunch more and maybe offer them to people who are joining us on the sale, because I thought that would be cute. And I'm a sucker for small cute things. So that was my start and finish. Nice and quick and easy. It was a nice little, like, I think I did it in one evening, and gifted it to Rosie the next day. So what's next? It was then the day that I filmed last was Soph's birthday, and I had a new start planned. I think I started it and then changed my mind and unstarted it. I think by coincidence I have both pieces of fabric here. So I originally started on this thinking it would be like a nice sky vibe, but I'd chosen that without actually looking carefully at the pattern. Realised afterwards that the sky is very much like a sunrise kind of vibe, and that this was too like bright blue and it just looked a bit off. Alfie really wants to play fetch. You pick your moments, mate. Basically I swapped it for this in the end. I just went for a much darker blue so that sunrise is almost like breaking through the trees, like brightening the dark sky. I didn't get hugely far. This is a bigger project than I realised, I think. It comes out quite a long way, like the fabrics are obviously folded up, but this was another one that I was missing the next colour to do the next sort of inner circle before you get to the sun. So that's another one that Kerry very kindly sent me, so thank you, Kerry. I don't think I've said anything about this. It's Lakeside Cabin from NeedleLot Designs, and this fabric is I can't remember what count, but it'll be along the bottom, but it's Mystic by Pictureless Plus. I'm gonna have to go let Alfie out. I will be right back. Okay, Alfie really wants to play fetch, so I can only apologise. No, okay, you don't want me to take the ball, fine. Anyway, okay, so moving on. Last weekend I went to the Floss Friends Tips and Trips oh my gosh, I don't know where I try sometimes. Tips and Tricks weekend. There we go. Yeah, it was really nice. I've not been to one like that before that's had like workshops and classes and things, so it was definitely like a bit different. I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed all of the workshops, but I think I found some of them more useful than others, just because they're more relevant to the way I stitch. One I particularly enjoyed that I will definitely be making use of was how to make a tassel, which was really interesting and really straightforward, but one of those things where when someone explains how they do it, it's then like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But I just never would have come up with that way of doing it myself. So yeah, I definitely recommend going to a sort of workshop based retreat, I guess. I really enjoyed it in general though. It was really nice to see both sort of existing friends, people I've maybe not seen for a while, and also made a bunch of new friends. Lovely group of people at my table. So that was really nice, and I promised that I would bring it to every update. We got some more progress on the stitching round robin Sal thing. There we go. I'm trying to think. Having a moment trying to think where I put the photos so that I'm holding these. I think this is the right side to be holding it. Yeah, because it's not, yeah, okay. Trying to remember which way around I've set up the overlays for where to put the pictures, even though I don't think this one has one. But yeah, so this is, for anyone who's not seen this before, this is my, I'm calling it a friendship round robin. It's not really got a name. The pattern is a temperature stitch along that has these hearts and stars, and it would normally have the location and the date in the middle. I've charted my own text to go in the middle, and I'm basically whenever I go to Stitchy Day or retreats, taking this along and asking friends, table mates, you guys, if any of you are at an event that I'm at, there's a good chance I will have this with me. Come stitch on it. It'd be lovely to have some Flosstube friends stitch on it. But yeah, so people get to pick a heart or a star, fill it in however they want. You can see some people have done like patterns. There's variegated, there's sparkly, there's a skull and crossbones. Courtesy of the turtle, so from TurtleBayTextiles. But yeah, I'm really loving this. I love seeing people pick their colours, pick like different, like there are some where people have used the exact same floss but have stitched in a completely different pattern, so they still look really unique. I love everything about this. It's gonna eventually be a project bag, and I need to have a think, because we're starting to fill up the middle of the side that I started on. I need to have a think whether I want to start a separate spiral on the other side, or have this like have the side curve, I guess, continue on like and sort of wrap around the bag, because when I make these there's one side where the fabric just continues round. So yeah, need to have a think about that. But yeah, if you're coming to any Stitchy Days and you see me there, come snag this and put your little motif on. Right, so that is one that's not really my whip because I finished my bit of it, but it is one that I will show every time, just so you can see it grow. Next up, what else have I got down? So on the note of Stitchy friends, there were some lovely table gifts that I wanted to show. I'm really sorry I can't remember which way round the two went. They came from two different people, but one is this cute little orc catcher, which I love. I've never had an orc catcher, and I am perpetually that person at retreats who like will get up to go somewhere and have like all of my orts stuck to me. I don't tend to keep orts, like I don't collect them or anything, but just for retreats, for keeping my space tidy, that'd be really nice. Oh, have you not sniff-spected this? It's a piece of wood and a piece of fabric. Is it okay? I can't tell if you want it on my hand. I don't really know what's happening. Does it all pass? Not sure. Do we pass? Shall I throw the ball? Would that help? Sorry about that. Welcome to my life. But yeah, the other thing which Alfie very much wanted to check there was a little pin cushion. And again, I am a nightmare for putting my needle down on the table at retreats in between strands. So, and I'm doubly excited that they fit inside one another. Tessellation is makes the brain gremlin happy. So yeah, they're gonna go in my little retreat kit, and I'm really grateful for both. And then also got some little charms, little bag of different, there's all sorts in there. There's a mermaid, they're all sort of, oh, mostly they're sea themed. There's a little like ship's wheel, a dolphin, mermaid, anchor, starfish, and then a little dinosaur, and I'm gonna call that like a Egyptian style cat, I think, and some stickers. The chocolate did not last long, I'll be real. So yeah, gonna make myself a little retreat kit, or update my existing retreat kit, because I think there's stuff that is in there that I don't use anymore. I can't throw the ball for you again if you've not bought it to me. You can get the ball. You get the ball. You're just gonna stare. He's just gonna stare at me. Okay. Goodies. I was very grateful for those. Right, stitching at the retreat. I did the tiniest bit on Aurora, but it was some, so I will show you. I think I had in mind that this was going to be super easy because it's all in the kit, but then I've put it in Pattern Keeper, and Pattern Keeper doesn't have, well, I've imported a photo of the paper pattern into Pattern Keeper. It therefore doesn't have the key, so it's still a bunch of faff, but I've just added that light blue. I think I'm leaning more and more towards getting myself wind stitch so that I can properly digitize paper patterns that I buy, obviously just for my own use, so that I can have them in Pattern Keeper and not have to worry about the key. And I think that would make those much more grab it and go kind of user friendly. The other option, I did start doing this and then change my mind, is I might just very carefully draw the shapes on it. Alfie, what is going on? Why are you so intent on sniffing everything? You're not like this unless I'm filming. Oh. Do you want that off? Come on. You want to come up? It's fine. It's fine. I'm convinced that half of you show up more for Alfie than my stitching anyway, so it's fine. Right, that was one project. The next project is the big one. So this is Gamer Nouveau. I don't think I said anything about the previous one, but the details would have been on the bottom. I'm really sorry. I perhaps shouldn't have filmed this evening after all, because I'm clearly a little bit all over the place. Next project, Gamer Nouveau. This is art by Medusa Dollmaker, charted by Gecko Rouge. I have essentially re-kitted it, so I was gifted the paper chart by Emily from Rossbell. She's just come back to Flosstube for the first time in 2 years. You should totally go check her out. Her most recent video shows her finish of this, and it was super cool to be sat stitching on this while I watched that update. She gifted me the paper chart and the leftover threads, so I have colour matched, and then Gecko Rouge very kindly, because I had the paper chart, let me buy the PDF add-on, so I now have this in Pattern Keeper. Biggest change you'll all notice from the last time I showed this is the grey in the back here, although again, this is one of those where I can work on it for days and feel like I'm not making progress until I look back at the previous picture, so I think I have done quite a lot on the banner and quite a bit in this sort of area as well. The background, we had issues. I bought 10 skeins of 317. It wasn't sun dyed because that was not the pattern. It was like, it was weird. There were weird lengths of it that were a completely different colour, so I unpicked what I'd done and restarted on that background. Massive thank you to Letitia from Corey's Little Shop. Alfie has now put his ball under the sofa. Yeah, massive appreciation to Letitia, who with like basically 24 hours notice got me 80 meters worth of the colour I needed and brought it to the retreat so I could make a start on this background. For completely wildly unnecessary reasons, I had got it in my head that I wanted to be able to say that I'd done a whole 1% of this project in one day, and block stitching the background at a retreat seemed like the way to do it. So on Saturday I did 2,000 stitches, on probably just over 2,000 actually, because there were a few stitches in other colours that I had to fill in on the stars, but yeah, over 2,000 stitches in one day. Alfie, you've just been outside. Come here. Come here. Whoever the patron saint of dog owners is, you're doing me dirty today. Yeah, I'm glad that I now have that background as something I can stitch, because it's quite nice just bouncing back and forth between the confetti and the background. I think I'm now 7.5–8%, there or thereabouts. I'm probably gonna carry on until I hit 10%, just because nice round numbers. and then I'll pop it away for a bit and work on something else just to break it up. But I can't believe like that I'm already talking about getting to 10% on this in what it's been probably about 2 months since I started. And bearing in mind I had to frog over 1,000 stitches of that background. So I'm really happy with how this is coming on. I'm looking forward to working on it throughout the year. So what else did I do at the retreat? The other thing, and again, credit to Letitia for bringing along some whisper thread that I could have a look at. So this is my finish for the week, for the month, for the update. So I shared this, I can't remember if I showed this on my last update. I think I've stitched all of it since the last update. I started this as one of my New Year's Eve 12x12s, so it got the tiniest amount of work. I think this might have been one of the hours where I had to go to the pharmacy with John, so I had like the tiniest bit of the wing stitched, but I absolutely love this. I've tweaked 1 or 2 of the colours. They're still colours from the pattern, but I've just, for the skin, tweaked so that the shadows were a little bit subtler. Because the first colour that I stitched them in was a bit full on for what I had envisaged. And it's probably going to be really hard to show, but the like fairy dust that she's blowing and her skirt down here are both stitched in 2 different shades of Whisper. I think the pattern called for 1 shade, but because I had the choice, why not? I now have 2 colours of Whisper in my stash. I'm obsessed with this. I absolutely love it. The wings have a lot of half stitch, which I think really adds to the, sorry, trying to hold it still but also straight and also in focus. The wings have a lot of half stitch, which I think really adds to the sort of ephemeral vibe. I love it. The back stitch was a bit of a pain, but mostly because I couldn't be bothered to go and get the hard copy of the pattern. So I was trying to read it through the Pattern Keeper app, even though it doesn't handle backstitch because it was a photo of a paper copy. It sort of was on there, but it was quite hard to see. So I took some artistic license, but I think it's come out really well. That's washed out horribly. Fabric is 40 count Highland Coo from CraftiKate. It's my first ever time on like stitching on 40 count, and I absolutely love it. I 100% will do more like this in future, although I have inspection. No, you just want my hand, don't you? Okay, let me put this away. Wait. Yeah, I went back on the Nimue. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I had a look online at their other designs, and I don't think any of the others jumped out to me quite in the way that one did. But I will definitely be keeping an eye out for others that catch my eye in the same way, because I really enjoyed that. If you know of any other patterns that have that, like, I think it's the use of half stitches, and also she kind of reminds me of, like, she makes me think of Flower Fairies. Yeah, hit me up with any suggestions if you know of any other patterns or designers like that. The last thing I worked on at the retreat was my first attempt. Inspection. Could you move, please? Off you get. Thanks. Okay, so this was my first attempt at needlepoint. I feel like I'm gonna need something. Fits really nicely. Oh god, no, that's terrible. Terrible. I don't have anything that's plain enough that it's not gonna. That's the least bad option I have handy, sorry. This is my first attempt at needlepoint. The pattern is Winter Blues I want to say hands-on design. Oh, it'll be here. The correct one will be there. I should make better notes before I do these. So this is done with size 5 pearl cotton, and I'll be honest, not loving it so far. I think I had the wrong size needle. I think my needle was too small, and therefore it was a struggle to get it through the holes. So maybe I will have another go with the right equipment, and hopefully that will, yeah, be a bit easier. I'll pop the picture up here, but the way that this particular one is done is it's like 4 quadrants of the same pattern rotated with like a border. What I might do is just do the one and make it like a small, like a scissor fob type thing or something. I don't know. Yeah, that was a small start that I will definitely persevere with, because I do, or maybe a little ornament, little Christmas tree ornament. I did want to show you, this is living in my, so this is a Stitch Bunny shop bag made by the lovely Lauren. The reason I specifically wanted to show this, back in, I think it was like October, November time, Lauren ran a raffle to win a prize bundle, 3 prize bundles she gave away actually. Alfie, come on. Yeah, she did 3 different prize bundles. The raffle was to help raise money for her kids' school to replace some of their playground equipment. I was very, very lucky to win one of the prize bundles, and I did, when it arrived in December and I was doing my Flossmas, I did film to show it off and show you all the lovely prizes, and to say thank you to Lauren. And then when I was editing, it was the bit of the month when I was ill and I just sounded miserable and I looked miserable, and it was just not very nice rewatching it. So I cut it out and figured I'd do it again in the new year, and then I completely forgot last time. So in my prize bundle I got this lovely project bag, which I got to pick from some options that she sent me. I got 3 lovely pieces of fabric, which are in this pile. So there's a lovely pink, pale pink kind of colour, this blue, which is what I originally started the Lakeside cabin on, and then precariously tucked under everything else in typical fashion, is this piece, which I used for one of my 12x12 starts on New Year's Eve. So 3 lovely pieces of fabric. I think 2 of them were like her smaller size, but they're still pretty darn big, and then I think this one was much bigger, so I will probably get 2 or 3 projects out of that. There was then 3 sets of scissors. I so should have been more organised about how I put everything out. So I got 3 lovely sets of scissors in different styles, and 3 sets of Needleminders and scissor fobs. So she gave us some themes to choose from. So there's some Nightmare Before Christmas ones. And I've just realised even the magnets on the back of these are really pretty, which is really nice, because I think the ones on the back are normally just bland and boring, so really pretty. A nice little teddy bear set. I love that she's coordinated these. I didn't expect them to be like matching sets. And this one, they're not like the exact same, but little duck in the pond on the Needleminder and then a little duck on the scissor fob. So they are super cute, and I'm really glad that I've now filmed this in a way that I am happy to upload, because they have all been sat in my to be sorted and used and put away in projects kind of stash. So yeah, thank you again, Lauren, for running that. Thank you for sending me the lovely fabrics and project bag. There was also, I've just realised, there was also a pattern for a fancy lady. Because I'm not a fancy lady person, I picked one that I knew a friend was keen to stitch, and gifted that on, just to make sure that someone got some good use out of it rather than it sitting in my stash. And yeah, being something that I never quite get around to. So, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. The other thing, so I came home from Floss Friends. Yeah, because sorry, the needlepoint was the last thing that I worked on at Floss Friends. Detour to the prize bundle. When I got home, I was very excited to have received my first thread club. So I've signed up for the Classic Colourworks thread club with Rachel from Talking Dog Stitchery. I think they're all full for now, but if you go have a look on her website, I think you can sign up to be notified when spaces open up. But I think for this one you get them in alphabetical order, so these are the first 5 colours in the Classic Colourworks collection. Alfie is so determined to stop me from filming today. Yeah, really excited to start collecting those. And at Christmas I was going to have John come and join me for an episode and do a bit of a quiz, and I was saying to some friends that I don't know what to ask him because I feel like he knows things like whips and FFO, like he knows all of those. And someone suggested, why not ask him to guess what colour thread is based on the name. So these are all fairly straightforward. So 12 grain is a sort of creamy oaty colour. Almost auburn is a sort of browny reds. Amber Waves is a weird one. I would have said amber was more of an orange, but it's a sort of almost lime green and a sort of, I don't know, I'm terrible at articulating colours, so maybe this isn't the best idea. Amethyst is purple, as you'd expect, and Antique Lace is like an off-white. But yeah, I'm excited to collect a stash of fancy flosses so that I can, at some point in the future, coerce John into coming and doing a quiz with me and making him guess what colour the floss is going to be. Right, since being back from the retreat, I have basically worked almost entirely on Gamer. I am very much in the zone with that one. The only exception is this evening I randomly decided to start on the next bee. So just for scale, this is my finger. Like, the whole thing is not that much bigger than like the first knuckle of my finger. So this is like half of the head. I've not got very far on it yet. This is only about 15-20 minutes of work while I was watching some TV earlier. So yeah, it kind of blows my mind how small things come out on 40 count, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm sure each month you'll probably see more teeny tiny bees. I'll probably try and finish that this evening just so it's done. Now that I have some much finer yellow thread, which is Gutermann Silks, which I've not tried before. Hello, Alfie. Right, that I think is all of the stitching to show you. So the last thing, the last 2 things, 3 things, basically not the last thing. So the next thing is just what I've got coming up. So this coming Saturday, in a couple of days time, I'm going to a Stitchy day in Nottingham hosted by the Stitchy Ferret. I'm really excited for that one. I think Beth, I know for sure, is going. A Stitchy friend from Birmingham is going. I'm looking forward to a day out. Not that I wasn't at a whole weekend out last weekend, but you know, I'm gonna carry on stitching on whatever I fancy. I did say, so books are magic. I put it aside because I was gonna start the Empyrean, the Rebecca Yarros. It's both written and narrated as an audiobook by 2 different Rebeccas, and I can't remember, I think it's Rebecca Yarros is the author. And what I said I was going to do is each time I finished a book, I would stitch one of the 3 books in the stack on that project. I have now finished 2 books. I got through them in a week each, which is nuts because they're like, I think 22 and 24 hours each. Which just shows you how far I go down the rabbit hole when I get into something like that. So I think that when I run out of steam on Gamer, that will be the next one to come back out, because I'm now 2 books behind effectively on stitching. Later on in February, I have the Birmingham Stitchy Day, which I try to go to each month. In terms of Flosstube, you may have seen my previous video was a bit of a tour of my stash. There's a part 2 to that I've already filmed but not uploaded. Well, not edited is probably the keyword there. Not edited and uploaded yet, so I will probably do that between now and my next update. And I think my next update will probably be the end of February, maybe the start of March. On the note of March, some exciting stuff happening. It's my birthday on the 12th. Hi Alfie. It's my birthday on the 12th of March, and I have decided I would love to do a little bit of a sale. I don't want anyone to feel any pressure to start anything new or buy anything. So what I have decided to do is, if you've seen previous episodes, the wall to my right is going to be my Meta cross stitch wall even. The plan is it's going to be full of cross stitch about cross stitch. So as an example, because I have it handy, this pattern is one that I finished and shared last episode. It says, I don't know who used my fabric scissors, but I will find you. It's not strictly about cross stitch, but it's the vibe. It's got scissors on it. It's close enough. So for my birthday, I am going to be stitching on one of my Meta cross stitch projects. I would love if you wanted to celebrate with me. Pick any project you have that has anything that's a bit meta, so be it a cross stitch that mentions cross stitch or has scissors, bobbins, like threads, like hopefully you get the vibe. I will maybe put some pictures of a couple of examples of ones that I've either started or finished or got in my stash ready to go. So yeah, that's on the 12th. The other thing in March that I'm planning to do is March Madness. So March Madness is where you do a tournament bracket, a bracket tournament. Is that the right way I'm saying it? Basically, each day in my Instagram stories, I will put up a vote and you can choose between 2 projects. Whichever one wins, I will work on it the next day, and it will move on essentially to the next round of 1v1. I am planning to do this with 32 projects, so there may be a couple of new starts either between now and then, or some of the options might be choosing a new start. I don't know, figure that one out close to the time. But whichever project makes it all the way to the end, I am then going to have April stitching on whatever I want, because I will need a break after being essentially told what to do every day for a month. April will be like a month off from anything organised, and then May I am going to attempt Monogamous May, where I will work exclusively on the project that wins the whole tournament, either for the whole month or until it's finished, in which case I'll then work on the runner-up. So if that sounds like the kind of insanity that you are interested in following along with, make sure you're following me over on Instagram so that you can vote and help me choose what to work on throughout the month. Yeah, it's gonna be nutty. There's like a chance I'm not gonna make it all the way through the month, but I made it through 24 starts in 1 month in December, so this is comparatively chill, sort of. Yeah, it's not chill at all. I don't know who I'm trying to kid. Anyway, right, on to the bit that I'm sure some of you have been waiting for. So, giveaway. Again, I am really, really appreciative for every single person who watches these. I definitely didn't anticipate anyone watching them. But some of the comments literally, like, they always seem to arrive at the exact right moment when I'm having a bit of a rubbish 5 minutes, and someone will send a lovely comment through and it will just make my day. So wanted to do a bit of a thank you. I'm gonna do 3 prizes. I have not come prepared with keywords, so I'm going to be making this up in the moment. So the first prize is going to be this pattern, because I have finished stitching it. So this is Lucy Beam, I Will Find You. I'm just obsessed with the fact it's got just pray. Like, pray for the person who used their partner's fabric scissors. For this, what word shall we go for? Let's say scissors. So scissors with an S on the end. Not that I think that word ever is written without the S on the end, but scissors if you are interested in winning this one. It's only a smallish paper pattern, so I will happily send this one anywhere in the world. Okay, scissors. The next one is going to be a project bag. So these are the ones that I have pre-made. Keyword bag. Let's just go with bag. So there is this bumblebee one, some sort of like the kind of clockwork bumblebees on. We have the toucans. We have some palm leaves. We have ducks, because why not? So if you would like to win your choice of those 4 bags, use the word bag in your quote, comment, you know what I meant. For the bags, just because of postage, they are going to be UK only. Sorry to the rest of the world. Yeah, sorry. So to win one of these 4, you get to pick which one, use the word bag. And then the last prize is going to be a big one, as in a big bag. I only have one pre-made, but for this one, what I'm going to do is let you choose the fabric from what I have in my stash. So whoever wins this one, we can chat in messages and I can send you some photos. If you tell me the sort of themes that you like, I'll send you photos of the fabrics I have and I will make you up a custom bag. This one is like A4 size, the other one's A5. For this one, let's go with zip, because why not? So zip if you want to win the custom bag, bag if you want to win the pre-made small one, and scissors for the pattern. Those are the 3 giveaways. You can enter all 3. Don't say win or giveaway or free. You have to be over 18 because I'm going to need your address. That's all the competition-y stuff, right? You know how this works. You've got this. It's fine. I think that's everything. The very last thing, and I promise it is actually the last thing now, which I've kind of already said, but my closing Flosstuber recommendation is again going to be Emily from Rosbell. I think her channel is Rosbell. I think her YouTube channel is just Rosbell. I think on Instagram she's Rosbell the First. I'll put it here. But yeah, definitely go check Emily out. She's got a finish and whip braid as her most recent video, and if you like I think I said, if you like Gecko Rouge, she's got tons of Gecko Rouge patterns on the go, so definitely go check her out. I hope you've enjoyed this chaos. It has been perhaps even less organised than normal, but it is what it is. Thank you for persevering and bearing with. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've got some nice stitching done whilst you've been watching. And I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.